We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Niggas is talking shit.
Let's get ready to rumble!
We would look at the box score and have a conversation because I looked at the box score. And this nigga sitting there, he had since Monday to now. And you, no, I'm not worried about that shit. Nigga, it could be tomorrow. It could be tonight. That shit don't fucking matter.
Like, I got lift, like, I don't be talking about it like that, dog. But it's kind of like being him. Like, a lot of them niggas, it's like another, him just came later.
You know, man, my nigga know more about basketball than me. That shit just not, it's not possible.
Nah, that boy ain't a part of it. He ain't a part of this.
What up, though? Episode 169 of the I Heart Miko podcast. I am Miko Grimes. To my left today is RJ.
Yo.
Roos Diggity on Instagram, and via satellite we have Hustle, aka Cuz I Hustle on the gram. That was Staley with Swangin' featuring Scarface. We introed that just for Hustle. You know what I'm saying? You represent the South today, right?
You did. We in the building.
South is in the building.
DJ Screw.
RJ, you representing for the West Coast.
West Side with a sunset. With a sunset. See, they can't stick with that.
Oh my God. We have such a fun episode for you guys today because so much is happening in free agency and the big three is popping. We have so many things to talk about, but I want to educate my listeners a little bit on these two. I've had both of you guys on my podcast in the past, and I don't think you guys know this, but you're kind of like the same nigga. Y'all the same nigga.
I'm sensing it. I'm sensing it, but
just different.
I'm almost offended.
Ooh, I like that.
The cloth I'm cut from, you got to look for it. You hear me? This some shit you can't even. I'm not even knocking where RJ from, but this cloth is like some. Oof.
Both of you guys, first of all, respectfully have played some basketball, not at a pro level, not at a super elite level, but you both have a basketball background. You have a good
semi-pro.
basketball. Okay, so
I'm
my
definitely
bad.
going overseas with mine.
Really, nigga?
You going?
Yeah,
RJ, you are 40 years old, dog.
I'm talking history.
Oh, you went overseas to play. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were still hanging on.
That's why I said semi.
I thought you was hanging on to some hopes.
Oh, no.
Nigga, I was about to say, let's kill those dreams.
I don't love it. I do not love it.
But both of you guys play ball. You both are associated and affiliated with a lot of NBA current and veterans of the league. So you're around a lot of guys. You talk sports all day long. I've had both of you guys on my podcast. Hustle, I've had you on way more times. And my listeners like and hate both of you guys. There's a bunch of people that love you guys. There's a bunch of people that hate y'all that say y'all both crazy as hell.
Great.
Which is always important, in sports, banter and everything. But what they don't know is they know I'm doing a show for the big three, but I had to choose between you guys to have on my show. So you want me to say what happened, or we just gonna leave it?
Spit it out.
So RJ, you weren't prepared.
Me not being prepared has nothing to do with whether he has ability to talk and express this game. So I mean, I'm not. Like I said, I'm gonna take it on the chin.
Okay.
I wasn't prepared, but I don't. That's like Toronto winning with somebody injured on the team.
Oh.
It's like I don't look at wins like it's a win when the other opponent ain't healthy.
Oh.
Are we sensing accountability issues?
No, nothing like that. I like to call it. I'm an athlete.
Okay, so
from the West Side.
We being square. When did I find out about this audition opportunity?
You found out on Monday. You found out the day of, which was a Friday. RJ, you had 5 days to prepare.
Right. And I didn't prepare. And I didn't prepare. So that doesn't that's what I'm saying. If you injured, play somebody when they healthy. No, that's all I'm saying. And then you're going to know who got skills.
The injury, RJ, we call it a reflection on you.
Oh.
Okay, that's an opinion. But when you're an athlete and you come from playing ball, You
Now
stick
you have
to
an
the
option.
script. No. We're going to just stick to the script. When you play ball and you say you could play ball, you don't want to play nobody injured.
We got a point.
You looking for the best so that you can prove the truth through the skill set. We don't need no injuries out there. You won't be able to tell who good.
So I'm just going down the list. We got accountability. We got excuses. We got
No excuse when you say I ain't come prepared. Hold on. Let's be frank. Let's be frank here. I just said I wasn't prepared. There's no excuse and I wasn't prepared.
All right, I gotta be Molly Quorum now.
Okay,
I gotta be.
like it.
What's the other little white girl's name on Undisputed? I don't fucking know. But I'm gonna be the mediator and cut you both the fuck off and say,
Can we all get along? Can we get along?
we just gonna get into it.
We're gonna talk free agency. We're gonna let this flow. We're gonna talk free agency, all NBA stuff, and Big Three. That's how we're gonna finish this whole hour off. We're gonna get this shit off, and we just gonna let the tapes. We just gonna go with the tapes. We're not using stats. We're not using numbers. None of that. We gonna let the tapes reflect which one of y'all got the better basketball IQ.
Let it roll.
And if you're not prepared today, then you just
never gonna be prepared.
Right. So let's hop right into it. Free agency started Sunday. The biggest move that took place obviously was KD and Kyrie. There was five Ks out there. There was KD, there was Kawhi, there was Kyrie, there was Kemba and Clay. 5 Ks out there, and everybody was wondering where these Ks were going. 2 of the Ks linked up. So we got Kyrie and KD in Brooklyn. I saw this as the best situation for them early on, simply because the Knicks are just fucked up from the root, from the core. Dolan, as the owner, has just pretty much fucked up everything that is Knicks related, and this is all karma. And it goes back to me all the way to them just not giving Patrick Ewing a job. I just feel like that started, like they were already shit in the bed. They haven't made the playoffs in so long, and then not respecting probably their best center in their history of their organization and not giving him a coaching job. He's out here thirsty, begging for NBA jobs like he was a bum or something, and his own organization wouldn't fuck with him. And then of all the contracts that they've given out, fucked up contracts the Knicks have given out, they had the audacity to not offer KD a max.
What kind of shit is that?
So what does he do? He decides to go to Brooklyn, the team that did make the playoffs last year, the team that is better, the best team in New York. And now him and Kyrie have linked up with DeAndre Jordan. RJ, you ready for this discussion?
Oh, I'm loving this discussion.
So what do you think of Brooklyn's opportunities now to get to the Eastern Conference Finals and possibly a championship now that they've added KD, who probably won't play till March, possibly if he's lucky. And, but they still have Kyrie and DeAndre Jordan. What do you think of their chances?
Brooklyn expectations. 1, KD ain't coming back for a year, so ain't nothing to really talk about this year. Secondly, we haven't seen KD or Kyrie play together. So to analyze and break it down like, oh, they're going to be killer, they're going to be doing this and that. I'm not putting this team on a pedestal until they add another piece. For one, you got DeAndre Jordan, who rebounds. Not a scorer. You got KD, who's a scorer and just a scorer. You got Kyrie, who's a scorer and assist man. They don't have enough to discuss whether they're gonna go championship or not. They will definitely go to the playoffs. East. I'm born on the West. East has always been considered weak compared to the West. When you look at the fight and you look at the records, you can see when East play each other 4 times, West play each other 4 times. When you're looking at the East Conference has no fight when it comes to getting to the playoffs. When you look at the West, you got Houston you got to get by. You got to get past San Antonio one round. You got OKC. You got.
Well, let's stick to the East.
When the East is in the house. Oh my God.
Let's stay
stick
in
to
the East. Hustle.
So, go ahead.
Let's stay in the East Coast right now.
We're just sticking with it. I feel like they made the best decision to go to Brooklyn. That was the best thing they could have done. Kevin Durant, Kyrie could have done, because they get the better franchise, they get the better coach, they get the better everything they get in Brooklyn is better. The only thing I don't like is them adding DeAndre Jordan, because I like Jared Allen. I like Jared Allen's trajectory. I feel like he's going to be a damn good center. So with with them having him, I really don't see the point of signing DeAndre Jordan. But the depth with LeVert and Dinwiddie and Kyrie and that system and the way that coach plays, they got a chance to
do you also agree that this is a throwaway year? Like, this is not the year because KD's not going to be healthy until March, April, arguably, even if he even plays. Like, why? You might not even want to play because most athletes, let me say this, there's only been 2 athletes that I've ever seen, like premier athletes, meaning like top tier, top in your field, that has actually returned to form or better. One of them is my baby daddy. Shout out baby daddy for not being here. Shut up, fuck both of y'all. The other one is Dominique Wilkins. And do we think that KD will even return to form of what he was? Are we certain at 32, going into 33, that this injury won't cause him to be Kobe, like a shell of himself, once he's returned from it? Are we all confident that everything is going to be okay?
Possibility.
I am. I mean, it's 2019. Technology and everything's different now. Kobe was already older and had multiple surgeries, shoulder, wrist, hand. Like he got war wounds.
Those are upper body though. Lower body injuries are completely different.
No, I'm not speaking on the lower body. I said just the fact of constant surgeries and injuries over time.
Mm-hmm.
This KD's second major injury, even though it's to his foot again. I feel like the way he plays the game with jumpers and height and length, that's not going to affect him too much like it would affect somebody, a smaller guy or somebody
who needs speed.
I take Rudy Gay for example. He just got what, $9 million a year, and he's in his late 30s. He had the same injury.
Okay. So what are we thinking that this did for Brooklyn's opportunities? They went to the playoffs last year, lost in the first round. That's still a step forward in the right direction. Do we think they make the playoffs again, get to the second round with this lineup without KD?
They definitely going to make the playoffs. Kyrie could carry a team to the playoffs on the East easy. I just don't see him going any further. First round, second round, pop.
Hustle?
I don't know if Kyrie can carry a team to the playoffs.
On the East?
Brooklyn has, it don't matter East or West, Brooklyn has a great system, a great coach, and structure in place to where in the type of system that he plays in, the type of system that coach has is conducive for Kyrie Irving. It fits his style of play. Boston's style of play didn't fit Kyrie's game, so this might be a different outcome in Brooklyn with the offense fit his style of play.
Do you guys think that Kyrie's a new man now? Because, we saw the apology. He had an epiphany in Boston. He realized, going to another team and trying to be the guy and making people follow your lead is tough, right? He didn't want to continue to be in LeBron's shadow per se. And so do we think there will be any rift with KD, who is, clearly a social media weirdo who will make fake Twitter pages to argue with people? And now I'm hearing Kyrie went on a radio station and faked like he was a fan and called in and was saying that he was faking and was saying that Boston never received him and accepted him, and the fan base will never get a caliber of player of his status ever again because they don't know how to handle a player like him. These two guys teaming up, do we see any rift? Do we see any, you're taking too many shots? No, it's my team. Do we see any of that in their future?
I don't see any rift. No, I don't with them being best friends and KD deal with Westbrook. Kyrie's bad, but he ain't Westbrook bad. So I feel like if he deal with Westbrook for a few years in the playoffs and the finals, he deal with that, he can deal with a Kyrie Irving.
Now, Celtics, where Kyrie left, it was clear he was not going back there. He wouldn't even take a meeting with them. They end up signing Kemba Walker, one of the other Ks. Not a fair swap out, if you ask me. However, as far as chemistry and like locker room chemistry, I feel like it might have been a win for Boston. And then they just got somebody. You know what I mean? Like, Kemba is not in his prime.
Wow.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What's up?
I agree. It's a fill-in.
You're being disrespectful.
Go ahead. Talk to me. Why am I being disrespectful?
Kyrie's promoted by Nike. All those Nike guys, they're going to get promoted. they're gonna get pushed to the front regardless. That comes with the game. He's the number one pick. He's this. But if you compare their games and everything, Kyrie does some things better, and Kemba does some things better. Kyrie's a better shooter. Probably Kemba's better off the bounce, like as far as creating a shot off the bounce. But they both have good things they bring to the game. It's just gonna be we ain't seen Kemba play with a LeBron.
Right.
We ain't never seen Kemba play with a staff, a core like Boston. All we seen is Kemba in Charlotte. So it's going to be a very different dynamic to see him playing with some real talent, real coaching, where his 25 means something. It's going to be different.
I beg to differ. I really feel like it's a fill-in. I don't feel like he going to go over there to Celtics and it's going to change or it's even going to stay the same. I don't feel like Kemba gives out the same production as Kyrie. On a team level.
It's not all about production. It's about chemistry. You said you play basketball. If you play basketball before, you would know that camaraderie and all that's number one in the locker room. That's why everybody said Golden State was going to lose this year. That's why everybody said Lakers.
But that's not why they lost. But that's not why Golden State lost. They lost based on injury.
Those things all trickle down.
No, we can say that's opinion. But we're going to go with the facts. Facts is there was injuries in his game involved, and that wouldn't have had nothing to do with it had Klay stayed in the game.
So can we can do that from year to year and talk about injuries is the reason why certain teams
win. But we can.
We can. Is the game.
See, that's the difference on that west side, south side. We call it for what it is. We don't sit here and make excuses for the winner when they get over on an injured squad. We know we'll say you won. We're going to give them the win and say it's an asterisk. We're not going to sit here in front.
Those comments are every comment that you just made was a breakdown of an excuse is why instead of just acknowledging the winner.
So what part of the injury say excuse? Explain injury and excuse in the same. Explain it.
Because we had a basketball game with 15-minute quarters with it.
No, explain the injury and the excuse part.
Basketball game. So I don't want to sit and talk about an injury. That's like talking about a missed foul call, like talking about a
it ain't. Oh man, one call and a don't play all game. Oh no, listen, man.
Is the injury not part of the game?
Injury is part of the game, and telling somebody that they won because of an injury is part of the game too. If you knew how to play. Hello?
That's part of an excuse, and we can live with it.
I know we're going to live with it because real basketball players accept all angles. See, that's the difference. We accept all. We don't sit here and lean on somebody hurt and say, oh, I'm the champ.
But you gotta play with what's out there.
And then that's what, I said, lost. Credit. You won.
Credit is.
You won. Toronto, you won. With an asterisk. We don't. ESPN will always talk about that. They will always bring that up. So why are we acting like that's not part of the conversation?
I don't respect what ESPN has to say a lot of times.
I mean, but we have to watch it.
I don't have to. I actually don't watch it unless I watch my nigga Shannon on Fox. But I don't really watch ESPN that much. I don't really respect anybody over there, to be honest with you. Just saying. That's just my opinion, though.
Oh, well, what we grow up on. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what we grew up on.
You learn. You watch things like, for example, I used to eat dairy my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Then I grew up and realized, you know what? That's killing a lot of people. I'm off that. Message. And ESPN will brainwash you. They will have you thinking that their shit is Bible, and it's not.
No, I don't believe it's Bible. But
just because they say it doesn't mean it's true.
No, it ain't that they say it and it's because it's true. But when you listen to the people that come on and participate, that's not a part of ESPN and agree.
They all have.
We got people that come on there and agree. They
all have an agenda. Everybody wants to be back on the show.
So where's
Everybody
the answer
wants to do their job and make sure they're friendly. It's the answer is simply in this. You play with who you have, and the winner is the winner, period. There's no asterisk by Toronto's championship. They went out there and did what they had to do.
So where was the asterisk next to LeBron's when they pulled out Green and when they were about to sweep them? We don't add that in the conversation either, huh? We just say
there's no asterisk.
He got kicked out. He got kicked out from something that happened another game ago.
Y'all do.
Like, okay, but that's the gangster. See, it's not gangsters in the South. Gangsters come from the West. You got to understand the concept here. That's what I'm telling. The gangster lifestyle is the reality of the hard life living.
We discuss solutions. We don't
that's fine. All that, but don't run from the the gangsterism of the lifestyle in the sport.
You got a mic, RJ. It's
Do
there
not
for a
run
reason.
from the gangsterism.
Using excuses about injuries is not gangster.
Hey, yeah, you gotta stop. You gotta stop running to the word excuse when you use a fact and say somebody got hurt. That's a fact.
Let's move on. We disagree. I gotta
keep
y'all. I gotta fucking ding, 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 ding. Next round. Al Horford has dipped also from Boston and has went over to Philly.
Waste of time.
Waste of time.
Watch it. And remember, we're going to go back to this. Waste of time. It's a good look for a season. Oh, something to watch. But I look at everything on the pedestal of where you going to go with it and if you're going to succeed or accomplish anything. We get nothing out of Horford going over there to 76ers. We're going to get a few more wins. We're going to get a little bit more play, nice pass and shot. Outside of that, they'll be going home again.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Everybody goes home. I mean, only one person doesn't go home.
But I'm saying with this move, I don't feel like it'll strengthen them.
Well, when you watch Philly play, like even last year, they lost on a buzzer beater. That could have been Philly playing Golden State in the finals.
And it would have got worse. It would have got worse.
We don't know that. We can't discuss. We just saying that that game could have went either way. And they added another player with veteran playoff experience that knows how to play the game, that knows his role, that fits in. That just makes you better when it comes to trying to win. Do you get a defensive shooting guard that can defend, that play? They're going to be one of the best defensive teams again. And Embiid is the best, is arguably the best player in the Eastern Conference. So regardless, if you got somebody that caliber, you're going to compete. Regardless, we don't know what step Ben Simmons is going to take. We don't even know what step Embiid is going to take from this humbling loss that he experienced this postseason. Because most superstars who experience these type of losses come back and get better and come back and add something to their game. And
Name one.
LeBron James.
Look who we run to. Can we run to a player that
LeBron James,
like Embiid? LeBron and Embiid ain't on the same level. None of them people match what he's talking about. He went from talking about a player recovering after a great loss. LeBron is LeBron. There's nobody you can compare to LeBron in the game. Embiid, come on, man.
Each loss LeBron got, he came up and brought something to the game. When he lost to San Antonio,
but that's LeBron. I get that.
Even Dirk. When Dirk got swept by Golden State, when Dirk then was the number one seed and Baron Davis then beat them.
Yeah.
When Dirk then went to the finals and they were able to put Bruce Bowen and Sean Marion on Dirk, he went and added something to his game that
what did he add to his game? He's a mismatch because of height. He don't add to his game.
Well, he was losing at one point, so he had to add something to his game. So he add? Because constant mismatch. Just like Greek Freak now. He can't shoot. He's going to have to go to the lab and get more consistent.
And he's not going to get that. And he's not going to get that. If you know how to hoop, you can see that watching him. You think that they're going to add? He going to add a shot?
I just named players who add progression to the game,
and I don't see it. All these players that you name haven't shown any. It's like I want to go off so bad. I just don't want to listen.
Well, listen. Okay, Scary Terry left. We know Boston is going to be a whole new team this year. Do we think they make it to the second round? Is it an L all around, or is there a chance for Boston to? No, we were just talking about Boston, but is there a chance for Boston to make any progress with these moves?
Nope. I think they gonna be okay, but Al Horford is a big loss. Man, he's an anchor. That defensive, the knowledge of knowing how you can run the offense, you can calm everybody down, he can make big plays. That's gonna be missed. In his canter in the pick and roll, defending the pick and roll is way different than Al Horford defending the pick and roll.
That's a good point.
It's going to be a big deal.
I'm just not excited with the moves being made because I don't feel like there's going to be any changes in the big scheme of things as far as playoffs and winning the championship. I don't really look to give props to teams that move up 10 games. I don't give props to teams that add chemistry and nothing comes out of it. But I'm not here for that.
We don't know what will come out of it.
We haven't seen it yet.
We don't. But in opinion,
we do know that Philly got Josh Richardson, Tobias Harris. They added some good pieces. Do we think Philly still makes it to the second round, to the semis of the Eastern Conference? Do they get further? Is Ben Simmons. I saw a video of Ben Simmons working on his jumper. He shot like 3 shots on Instagram, like from 3. He actually made them. I was like, oh, it's lit. It's lit.
I ain't fooled.
Did you see the one where they were putting the dunk cuts at people's faces on there every time he made a 3?
Yes. And you know, this is my thing about Ben Simmons, and this is coming from me being a point shooting guard my entire life. I have never respected a person in that position that won't take a shot. I can't believe in anything that Philly has going on with Ben Simmons at the helm. I don't care about his IQ. I don't care about his passing ability, his defense, you know, how athletic he is. If I have a leader on my team who's running my offense that is too afraid to take an open shot, why do I need him?
Why?
Like, I just don't want him. You know, there's so many positives in his game, but the one thing you can't be is pussy when you wide open. Like,
we consider that dead weight.
Yeah, that's just basically allowing the defense to shade off of you, to help inside, to you know, try to get steals. It's just, you're
another
a liability.
Rondo.
Yeah,
Another Rondo.
Rondo 2.0.
We dealing with another Rondo, so we sag off and let him shoot even they sagging off letting him shoot college threes.
Yeah.
That's horrible. So I'm not going to look at 76ers as having any production and coming out with any type of pizzazz or anything if they ain't got no shooter and he's the runner. He's running that team. They look through him to come out to produce for everybody else to be successful.
No. They look at him to push the pace. They look at Embiid to be the key cog for them to make everything go.
Embiid is the first option.
That's why they were still.
No, I didn't say he's not the first option, but if Simmons don't come through, Embiid already came through. Embiid he was the man this series. It was the Simmons that was lacking, that didn't pick up the other half.
One good game, I believe.
No.
Who had one good game?
No, I said Ben Simmons had a.
Embiid sat out games. He kept saying he had diarrhea.
He was injured.
That's why he was so emotional. It hurt him at a different level because the media was coming down on him. Feel like he could have played. He could have been more tough with him being a franchise guy. So I'm
not on far to the emotions, man.
To see.
Jimmy Butler left the Sixers.
Sad.
He went to Miami. There's so much speculation and rumor about why he did it, and I don't understand why people don't get why someone would want to play in South Florida. I mean, Jimmy comes across as the kind of guy that wants to be a lone ranger. He wants to lead a team. And if you're going to lose, you might as well do it in Miami.
Yep.
Great organization.
I agree. I think that's the best move for him to have fun.
Yeah. If you're going to lose, if you're not going to win, if you don't see any opportunities for you to link up with another perennial player to compete for a championship, why not go and play with the stellar Miami Heat organization? Top of the line, classy. Everything's going to be done right. You might not win a championship in the next few years because of the moves other teams are making, but why not? And Dwayne Wade is like his idol. He's like one of his favorite players. So
they fit. I like it because they fit.
It does fit, and it also fits.
The work ethic, you know how Miami get his work ethic. They all hard working. They doing this like they grind, they grit. Even they team the way they play. They don't got no super score. They just have to compete. Gritty, tough. I feel like Jimmy Butler gonna fit right in, and he could be the piece they need, you know, to really make them be a better team. Because Deion Waiters is not it.
Better team, but not a contender.
No,
right?
Not a contender.
And so this is what the whole issue is when we talk about these moves that are being made. Granted, every move isn't going to say, oh, you're going to the championship or you're going to the semis or anything. A lot of what we have to realize is everybody's not going to make it. So what you're trying to do, if you realize you're not going to be on one of those teams that's going to be a contender, you always compete. You know, every team's competing. When you get out there, it's anybody's win. Anybody can win a game, you know. But if you're not going to be on a team or with an organization that is in contention for the championship, you might as well go somewhere where you'll be happy at least. You know? And that's what Miami says to me. Miami says happiness.
Happy, riding the bike to the gym.
I mean, it ain't nothing but palm trees and sex appeal. I mean,
and to round out the East, unless you guys want to talk about the Pacers, they made some great moves. No, we don't care about anybody else in the East. We got to talk about the Toronto Raptors, the champions. I don't know what they were thinking. Me personally, I knew from the beginning that And I still don't know because he hasn't signed because Kawhi is still out there. But I never imagined him going back to Toronto. First of all, what a great thing he did, honoring his 1-year deal, coming in, getting a championship, the first ever championship for Toronto. And now he's free to go. But Toronto seemed to sit on their hands thinking, oh, we just won with him. He's going to come back. That wasn't an easy road. That was tough. A lot of things had to happen for them to get there. You know, it wasn't an easy road, and I wouldn't see Kawhi wanting to finish his career working that hard every day, night in and night out, hoping that Kyle Lowry is going to show up, hoping that Serge Ibaka is going to show up. All these guys that had some bad games here and there, like they've had in the past with Toronto, and why they were never able to get past LeBron and the Cavaliers. It's a tough road. And then it's in Toronto, snow, you know, just travel.
Conditions.
It's just not a good look. And they sat on their hands thinking that, oh, we're the champs. He's going to come back here when everybody else was working, making moves, hustling, scheming, and they did nothing. And now it looks like they might end up with nothing. What happens to Toronto after this year? They go back to mediocrity?
Cinderella shoe falls off. They go back to normal.
What do you think?
I don't see mediocrity. I said they're still gonna be a playoff team. They're still gonna do. Well,
Who's the star? Who's the guy?
They had a really good record without Kawhi. They was like,
but they also had another perennial player.
We got to see what happens with Kyrie.
Not
Kyrie. We got to see what happens with Kawhi if he leaves. Who they pick up? Who Toronto pick up?
Who else is out there?
Who is it?
There's nobody else out there that can fill those shoes.
No, not fill those shoes, but just a fill-in period will still have a little change.
Then you're the Heat. Then you're everybody else in the league. If you don't get one of the star players that's out here, and everybody's pretty much gone now.
They got the championship like the Knicks did back in the day.
Yeah. Speaking of the Knicks, but they took the biggest L, I think, of the organization by getting. I call him Randall. People always laugh when I call him Randall. That was their biggest signing of free agency so far. How do you go from getting rid of everybody? They dumped house. They dumped everything to make room, didn't offer the max, and then ended up with nothing. And now the Knicks are the laughing stock of the NBA once again.
I mean, they've been consistent.
And they use
like
their
that.
salary cap space.
They got $70 million or something like that available.
That's sad, man. I'm used to it, honestly. I mean, since Patrick Ewing, they've never made a miraculous decision that overturned and changed the organization. So I'm really not shocked. I'm more shocked that they're consistent with fellas. I'm just shocked at that.
But they just keep taking L's.
It's the curse of Pat. I don't care what they say. It's the curse of Pat.
The curse of Pat?
I thought
you can't do that black man like that. He changed out. Only reason Knicks is relevant from the 80s to now is Patrick Ewing. We don't think about nothing else when you think about the Knicks.
Yeah.
88.
You know who I think about?
Who?
Spike Lee.
Average.
I think Spike Lee over there, I think he might be cursing to doing something, man. After all these years, he been riding with them and they ain't progressed. I got to start looking at something else.
If you're a true Knicks fan, you just don't do that.
No.
You just don't leave the Knicks. Like that's just you leave other teams. Like they're fan hopping, bandwagon hopping, but when you're a Knicks fan, I just feel like you're just forever. You take
it's like
those
a
lumps.
Celtic.
You take those lumps. You go with the flow. I want to switch over to the West Coast now. One of the biggest. I mean, the Clippers remind me of the Knicks in the sense that they are dumb as well. They aren't making the right decisions. They sat around and waited. All they heard was a rumor that Kawhi was looking at the Clippers, and they were just like, "Bet, it's on." But you can't do that. You have to think about what happens if he doesn't come, and they never did. And it appears that he's not going to the Clippers. Why would he? We would have known. There's no discussions. There's nothing going on.
Nothing boiling.
Yeah, there's nothing simmering about this. We're hearing about the Lakers and him contacting Magic. He met with Magic and basically asked Magic about the shit that's going on with the Lakers organization. How bad is the dumpster fire? Why did you leave? Why would you ask me to come to an organization that's bullshitting? And Magic was like, it's family. We're all family. Families fight. Families beef. And then he asked, could he bring his own medical staff? Like LeBron did, Then he asked he's just basically trying to see how bad the Lakers want him. Were you guys after me in free agency? Magic, yes. San Antonio tried to make it way too hard. They damn near asked for LeBron to get you.
Right.
So he had these talks with them, and so there's steam there. There's steam. He's not going to Clippers. There's steam for the Lakers. What happens if Kawhi signs with the Lakers and they have LeBron and they have Anthony Davis? Hustle.
Oh man, it's gonna be nice to see them try to come together.
Our bars is backlit.
I want to see I want to see what the starting lineup gonna be. Anthony Davis playing center, he playing power forward. They got options with this lineup right here. With this 5-4-3 matchup. Man, they got options. That pick and roll, it's gonna be hard to run pick and roll against them.
Yeah,
like with LeBron and AD and Kawhi, 5-4-3 in the last 5 minutes. Ain't no pick and roll offense. Ain't no switching the big to create an advantage. That's what I be thinking about. I'm like, oh wow. I ain't thinking about the offensive end.
They still got to finish up the roster. You still got to have bodies out there. People need rest. So now, once they sign, I'm saying now like it already happened, because in my mind it has already happened. I'm ready. But what you now have to do is then go out and get those veteran guys that will take the league minimum,
play their role
for a championship. And I don't see why that would be a problem. It's getting late. They need to hurry up because a bunch of the guys, the fit-in guys are being signed. But I think that this move, Kawhi coming there, sends them directly to the championship past whatever the Golden State Warriors have, including signing D'Angelo Russell. Whose phone is that?
Turn off your fucking cell phone!
See what I'm saying, RJ?
Hey, listen, if Kawhi go to the Lakers, the dynasty starts.
That sounds about right.
And it won't matter who they shift in and out. With those three out there together, that's just like Golden State with 30, 30, and 30. Possibly. Any given night, I could get 30 from Unibrow, I could get 30 from LeBron, or I could get 30 from Kawhi. You working with the same system that you was working with Golden State, and it ain't going to be nothing but just the scoring, like keeping up with scoring. And ain't nobody going to be able to keep up the Lakers now if they put that team together. Who gonna keep up with them?
I think about the Bulls. That's exactly what I think about. Jordan, Pippen, and Dennis Rodman.
Oh, yeah.
Kawhi,
y'all agree on something.
LeBron,
yeah,
Anthony Davis. That's three first. It could be like all defensive players, all in the out, man. And you add, and they mess around and added Iguodala, and that's like adding Ron Harper or something, or Robert Horry or something. Just adding Iguodala, man, it's gonna be interesting. I'm telling you.
The NBA really ain't that competitive. So to put three players on the same team in this era will make dominance on any team that plays with three killers. I don't. This is starting to become a business.
It's starting to become. This has always been a business.
Yeah. No,
and one of
business.
One of the most important things that Magic said to Kawhi is this: why would you want to go somewhere where you have to work so hard every single night? It's on your shoulders to get the win, to get your team over the edge. He was like, just come here. Y'all just, each night take turns throwing each other on your backs and winning like that. And it's less wear and tear on your body, lighten the load, have more fun, sitting out some fourth quarters like the Warriors did with their perennial star players. That right there alone sells me on the Lakers if I'm Kawhi.
Man, I feel like him winning the championship is what really opened the door for him to come to LA.
Yeah.
Like if Toronto lose that championship, I don't think he go to the Lakers. I don't think he go.
Right.
Now, in his manhood, he's more like, shit, I don't want San Antonio right here. I don't want Toronto by myself. Now I don't care about going to play with LeBron because they're not gonna look at me as some second fiddle or some nobody because I won on my own.
Right.
It ain't like Kyrie playing with LeBron or KD playing with Golden State. It's different. I'm a champion. I'm a winner alone. So I'm just going to add up.
I agree with that.
So you think his championship still has an asterisk by it?
You damn right. Damn right. Like how he give the love to Kawhi where he's on this level. Mm-hmm. That's where I differ. I don't give him that level. I didn't say he don't have the ability. I just don't give him that level because he didn't play against the team that everybody talked about beating. He didn't play that team. So I can't say, oh, you beat the team.
He did play that team. They had the uniform on. They were playing in the Oracle. He beat
60
that
points
team.
sat on the bench. I'm not listening to this. 60 points sat on the bench.
Guess what?
Any other injury's going to sit 20, 10, 15, might have fell off. 60 points
but when you have,
sat down.
But when you have 60 points on the bench, you should always know that your bench, that's what they subbed out. When they went and got KD, they basically said, we don't really, because the Warriors were known for their bench before that. Remember?
Yeah, they still got bench.
Not like they used to have. And they lost a lot of that bench when they went and got KD. And you realize how important that bench is.
So you need less bench. With KD, you need less bench with KD.
No, you don't. Not if he gets hurt. You learn that.
Okay, we banking on the injuries, on making a point.
Everybody has to. It's the way the game is played.
But we just say excuses for injuries. Then we throw the injuries in there to.
There's no excuse.
That's why she's saying prepare for it. There's a chance that injuries can happen because you can't use the injury as an excuse for you not winning.
But you don't. But you do not draft based on injuries. You don't draft or recruit based on injuries. You don't do that.
That's a different conversation, though.
Every team knows that injuries are going to happen. This isn't any sport. There are going to be injuries. You are only as good as your weakest link. Period. And they didn't have anything. To me, this is just my opinion. Yeah. Karma set in. Just for them even building this team, just for putting this team together. And then we saw how from the beginning, Draymond and him got into it. And I said, well, there it is. That right there, there's blood in the water and everything else is going to trickle out. Then the injuries start happening. The anger, you can tell when people don't want to play together. Things start to happen when you have those type of issues. People wanting the ball. You know, Draymond shooting too many balls. KD like swinging around.
That's IQ though.
Guess what? You chose these players. These are the things that happen, and you play with what you have. There's no excuses.
I'm not taking away from it, but I'm definitely not giving credit to a team that didn't play the team that everybody wanted them to match up against.
They did match up against them. They brought theirs. And they weren't ready.
And they didn't bring theirs.
And they weren't ready.
We're going to grade it ass.
A big part of being a champion is being able to get through 82 games plus 28, if possible, in the playoffs.
I'm ready to speed this season up.
The Warriors got D'Angelo Russell. That's a big piece. I'm wondering if you guys think this heavy guard lineup with Clay, Steph, and D'Angelo can work. Are they too small? Is there not enough balls? Who is Steph coming off the ball? Like, what do you guys think happens now that they've signed D'Angelo Russell?
I think D'Angelo Russell is going to come in here and be a facilitator. But it's always going to be based on Clay and Curry if they shooting or hitting. It ain't no different than Rondo being with the Celtics when they won. And now that he go play with somebody else that's not Hall of Famers, you don't hear nothing from him. So if you look at Russell coming in there and he gonna facilitate if they not hitting their shots and he passing good ball.
Why would they not hit their shots?
I'm saying if they're not, they the Splash Brothers, but they ain't had off games too.
No,
they
not where it matters. No, not
they
where
lost to the Lakers.
The reason that they
lost to the Lakers at they top high.
Those are regular season basketball games.
Oh, so now we basing it.
No, I'm just saying anyone can lose a regular season basketball game. Anyone can lose.
That don't mean nothing. Well, you know that don't mean nothing. But I said for the production to be good and Russell to stand out, they will have to hit the shots.
Why wouldn't they? We've been watching them literally hit shots for the last 5 years. Why wouldn't
Consistency and being perfect is two different.
5 times to the finals is consistency.
But that's a team we talking. That's a team we talking. It's a different team now.
Yes.
It's a different team, so I don't guarantee all that.
Still being shot.
The same shooter.
So let's predict it now. What is Golden State going to do this year?
No, I don't look at Golden. I'm looking at it from a total different perspective. For me, D'Angelo Russell is just a stopgap. He just somebody because they still want to be competitive or maybe try to make the playoffs. And they know Clay towards ACL, so we just want to bring another scorer in so we can link him up with Steph, and maybe we can stay competitive till Clay come back, and then we can do what we do. Maybe we trade him. Maybe if he doesn't fit, we could trade him. If not, if he
I
don't
get
fit,
that.
we trade him. If he fit, we'll keep him.
Is
I
he-
feel like that's what they're looking at.
Is
They
it
wanna
enough
still
to
stay
send
competitive.
them back to the Western Conference Finals with this roster?
Hell to the no, to the no.
Oh no, I don't think that.
Okay.
Not with the West.
Who else is it? Who in the West? If we're going Lakers to the Western Conference Finals, who else early? Just July 2nd. Who else is in the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers?
Houston, easy. As long as Harden playing, Houston definitely gonna go to the Western Conference.
I don't know. I think Portland got better, man. There's some teams that got better. Portland got better. Utah improved. There's some teams that was kind of stagnant that added a little bit to their team that's going to make them take a step in the next direction that we don't know. Like even with Denver, with them, they're going to Jokic because in the point guard crop, they're going to take another step. Then they're going to bring in the rookie Michael Porter Jr. and players. I mean, we just don't know. We got some players whose trajectory can change the dynamic of the league.
Well, I've been watching these Portland boys.
You still got Oklahoma City and with Paul George and Russell Westbrook. He might find his jumper again. We don't know where he lost it at. He might find it. Somebody might drop it at the door. Here go your jumper, Russ.
Yo.
You believe Russ could ever have a jumper?
No, I'm saying at least at one point he was able to shoot the pull-up free throw jumper.
No, that was 2 out of 4 too.
Yeah, that's good. That's what I'm saying. When you can get to the hole, the dynamic as he is, you'll take 2 out of 4. Russell Westbrook, Tony Parker, those guys, you'll take that because they get to the basket so aggressive.
The Warriors said no one will ever wear number 35 ever again. I think this is a cover-up for them fucking him up, lying to him, saying he had a calf injury when they knew he had a tear. I still don't blame the Warriors organization. I'm blaming KD because you quite simply have to do your homework. You have to get your own MRI. You have to speak with an outside doctor. These team doctors are for the team. They're going to do whatever the team says. Then Iggy goes on the Breakfast Club and says, last year in the playoffs, they played him as well. He had a fractured leg. They told him it was a bone bruise. He played through it. They put pressure on him. His own teammates put pressure on him. The front office put pressure on him to play on it. And now we're seeing finally, because people don't realize, you always hear about the bullshit and the drama of the sorry teams, but what you don't realize is every single organization has the same drama. They have the same lies, the same bullshit. But when you're winning, everybody's tight-lipped. Everybody's shutting the hell up. Iggy comes out and exposes them and says, they full of shit. The doctor's a fraud. They will make you feel bad if you don't play. He's suddenly no longer on the team. Durant says, I fucking hate them. It's all coming down. Do we see this as a trickling effect of the Warriors just basically declining from their rise to stardom?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's that time. It's been a 5-year run. Yeah. They did that thing. All good things must come to an end for some reason. Right. It's just life.
Yeah.
One of my listeners had been asking me this for weeks, and I kept forgetting to bring it up. And Iggy reminded me of it, and he said that he feels that Mark Jackson is being blackballed by the NBA. Do you guys agree with that as far as a coaching standpoint?
Definitely. I feel Mark Jackson put this team together. He put the continuity and the chemistry together in the locker room. Mm-hmm. And then you give it to Kerr. You give it to Kerr and say he the man. They was beating San Antonio by 20 at the half in the playoffs and lost on rookie mistakes. Now that you can see the veteran and how they close games, they was winning and beating teams like a championship team and losing second. I think they was up 3-1 in that series against San Antonio back in Curry early days before they got this dynasty. So you could already see.
They went up 3-1.
What was that? They was up though.
2-1. Yeah,
they kind of had that series though. It was I think I want to say 3-1 and they got hawked.
Well, let me say this. Let me just put this tea out there. No, I can't say my source.
You in danger, girl.
What I was told months ago is the reason that Mark Jackson's being blackballed is this. Mark Jackson had, I forget where they were, but it was a road trip. He bought some pussy.
Oh, no!
Instead of having the girl, because when you're on a road trip, you guys probably know this, the team stays in the same hotel. Now, the players get rooms. They can upgrade. There's no curfews like the NFL. They can have company. They can be in the club till 4 a.m. As long as you're at shoot around and ready for the game the next day, that is what it is. That includes coaching staff and everyone. So Mark Jackson bought some pussy. Instead of having the woman in his room that he has with the team, she somehow convinced him to go in her room for the clothes. It was recorded. Her pimp basically was like, some wild shit took place. Some wild shit.
Wow.
Some wild shit that you just wouldn't want anyone to know that you were into as the good Christian man that you
I feel
are.
better, though.
You know what I'm saying?
They told you that I got the Christian excuse.
Yeah, and so what happened is, this is just all rumor. This is all alleged. Let me be clear, because my source doesn't want his name out there, but he's a very credible source. And the NBA pretty much bought this sex tape from this person, bought it at an extremely high price to pretty much save the organization, and basically said to him, you will no longer coach again because you did this.
No man can turn down this pussy.
So there's all these rumors about him being mad at gay people in the organization and stuff. Yeah, I don't think it's still right. I feel like if somebody put your sex tape out, this is what bothers me about these Bible thumpers. You're not perfect.
Right.
You're not. There's a lot of wealthy,
underhanded,
married, sluts, scumbag ass niggas that like taking shit in holes that you don't want people to know you like it in. And
Please, darling, cool it down.
Yeah.
you might like it this way and that way. And so I hate it when somebody who is a Christian or very religious gets treated like this for being human. He's human. He cheated. He made a mistake. He's probably still buying pussy right now. Should he not be a commentator then? Should he not?
I thought about that. Why would he be a commentator? That's part of NBA business too. So I'm confused about that, but I'm happy to find out that they just didn't blackball him because he was black, or because I didn't know. I didn't know about that.
And this is still alleged, but there's a sex tape. I want to see it now. I want to see it. I want to know. I want to know if it was just one person, if there was a boy. I got questions, and so I'm sad that this happened because I feel like he was a great coach. He's a great commentator. Even he doesn't get on my nerves. A lot of these commentators get on my nerves when I listen to them, but he doesn't bother me at all. And if he's quiet about it, if he's shutting the hell up, you already know it's valid, because if it wasn't valid, wouldn't he be like talking shit and saying stuff like, you know what I mean?
It makes sense.
It's valid.
It make a lot of sense, because I felt like he should have stood up when they won a championship, and because the moves was made. It was made at a time where you still felt like it was Mark Jackson's team when they started winning. He went through all the rough trials and building, and you could just see the team developing. Then all of a sudden, when he disappeared, they went on unforgettable winning streaks and records, and it's like, that's Mark's team.
I give him props, man. Don't get it twisted. I give them props. I just feel like y'all be taking that shit a little bit too far when everybody be saying it. You know how much in-game decisions, substitution, changing patterns, and playmaking decisions you have to make to go on from game to game and playoff games, starting somebody, subbing somebody, like how he did, like how Steve Kerr put Iguodala in the start lineup. Those are changes. We don't know if Mark Jackson make those changes.
But we don't know that he would have,
We can't say.
He didn't have this exact lineup.
I'm not questioning Mark Jackson developing this team. It's no different than Toronto. That's like us saying, oh, man, Nick Nurse shouldn't get credit, but we should give Dwayne. No, it's like, shit, this is just part of coaching.
I was one of those people. I just feel like, to me, that's part of the reason that I started my own podcast and I started doing my own thing. I just hate that you're not allowed to be human when you have a certain job.
Right.
It just doesn't seem
That's
fair.
what Magic Johnson was saying. That's why he got out of, because he can't be friends and just speak to people on the norm. Those type of things
matter.
It hurts.
And so let's segue right into this. One of the leagues that doesn't care if you have a sex tape, you can smoke weed, you can cuss, could talk your shit, is the Big Three.
Oh, that's very different.
We're going to close this out with some Big Three discussions. Real quick, we had 6 games this weekend, starting with the Saturday games. The Triplets and Trilogy played each other. That was a good matchup on paper, but it didn't appear to go that well in theory. Hustle, what'd you think about this game? Quickly, y'all. We don't got that much time, though.
I didn't expect it to be much of a game either. I didn't know who Trilogy score was going to be. I didn't know James White was going to try to be the aggressor in that way. So with him trying to be the number 1 option and Hawkins being the number 2, I didn't see them having a chance to outscore Joe Johnson.
RJ?
Looking at the matchups, with Al Horford being down there, I don't see nobody matching up with Trilogy anyway that could guard Horford. Joe, the matchup, if you just look at the matchups with Trilogy and triplets.
Not Horford, Jefferson. You talking about Al Jefferson?
No, Jefferson. Al Jefferson. I said Horford. Oh, I'm sorry. Al Jefferson, nobody could hold him down low. So looking at the matchup, I already got triplets winning it, but I like Joe, I like Al, and I like Allen Anderson. And with that group together, the chemistry, I don't really see nobody stopping them more than the next team that they got to compete against.
So we finally saw Gilbert Arenas this week. He was talking a lot of shit. He said he was not going to pass at all. We knew that was a joke, but he was talking a lot of shit. We found out that Gilbert's not in shape. And you got to be in shape, even though it's half court. He took a lot of substitutions, but he was eventually able to beat the Ball Hogs with 2 free throws at the end. First of all, Ball Hogs, bless their heart. They just a ragtag bunch of just kind of thrown together out here trying to get it done. We saw Will McDonald have a great game. He was the reason that they were winning the majority of the game. They didn't really have anybody else really step up for them. Deshaun Stevenson hit a couple shots. But Enemies is one of those teams that everybody has going far in the Big Three because they have Gilbert Arenas, they have Lamar Odom, Royce White, who's a great scorer, and they got a young guy, Frank Robinson.
Frank Nitty.
He's on the killer threes.
Oh, he on step.
Do we think the Enemies is going to be a contender? Is Gilbert Arenas going to get in shape and start hitting some of these 4-pointers that we've been seeing all over Instagram, or is this catfish?
I got Enemies.
He's got a lot of enemies.
Within the top 3. I'm not going to say they're going to be the number 1 team, but I got them in the top 3 towards the end of the season.
Hustle.
Enemies potentially got one of the best teams in the Big Three. They got the perfect balance. Like Craig Smith got game.
Yeah, he does.
You got a big man that can shoot and post up. Then you got the best, probably outside of Joe Johnson, the best perimeter player with Royce White. Who got side defense. I watched him play. He was just making all the right plays. He wasn't trying to force nothing. He was just out there looking like he was still at ours. I said, oh yeah. Looking at them, even without Gilbert Arenas, just with Royce White, Craig Smith, Allen Anderson. But man, they got
Gilbert, no win. No Gilbert, no win.
Oh yeah, and they got height at every position. Most teams got a little bitty guy. They don't have littlest guy is Gilbert
Arenas. Yeah. They've got a good squad. We're gonna keep our eye on them because I do feel like the lineup looks good. But it gotta work. It's gotta work.
It's gotta work. But I believe in Gil. I've seen enough from Agent Zero. On this level, playing with these guys at this age, I'm putting all that in a box and looking at it. And Gilbert definitely is gonna stand out amongst these guys throughout the season. We'll see.
I don't know.
Killer threes. Go ahead.
I just know you got to be in shape in this game. And to me, Gilbert is doing the same thing that Ronald, making the same mistake Ronald Test made. Killian Martin, Baron Davis.
And what's that?
All of them thought that they were just going to be able to come in the Big Three.
Not being in shape.
And not be in shape and just play because it was half court and it did not matter. And you see, he was asking for a sub 2-3 minutes
constantly. Yeah, you can't you can't think like you can just shoot and just do drills. You got to go out there and play some basketball, even some full court. That's how you get your cardio together. So I think Gilbert needs to get into some of these UCLA runs, some of these open gyms out here in LA, and really get into basketball shape. I don't know if the knee can handle a lot of that, but in order for him to get past a team like the Triplets or Power, some of these other perennial teams, he's going to have to get in shape. He's going to have to bank heavy minutes like Joe Johnson is doing and put the team on his back sometimes, because that 4-point shot is going to be crucial. And I know his shot is nasty, but if he's just standing out there hitting them, you're going to have to pull somebody out there, and this is going to create one-on-one for the other great guys on their team.
Right. We're only dealing with a 3-on-3.
Right. So we saw killer threes and Threes Company. I don't even really need to talk about this game that much. The only thing I wanted to do is shout out Steven Jackson, because I really was scared for him to come back and play after what we saw with KD and everything. And the boy didn't look like nothing was wrong. He was out there doing everything.
Still aggressive.
Killing to the hole. The legs looked young. The jumper was working. He was
sleeping
passing.
on C.J. Watson with that.
Definitely not sleeping on C.J. CJ, you know what's so sad about CJ? I remember a time when CJ was a Robin in the NBA. He was Derrick Rose's backup. Yeah. And people might have forgot that. CJ had some game. It just wasn't enough at that time to be a Robin. And now we're seeing some of these guys who just wasn't enough for that role that we needed to play in the NBA.
Probably was told not to play a certain way too.
No, he was a Robin. You don't get told nothing when you're Robin on your team. You don't. You're the number 2 guy. Your only job is to make sure you don't fuck with what the number 1 is doing. Mm-hmm. Don't get in this fucking way. And CJ is a ball. He is balling quietly. He looked 12 years old. He don't say nothing. He's out here doing his job. They've got Josh Powell, he's always gonna just be a guy that when you need him, he's gonna be there. When you don't, he's gonna do things that don't show up on the stat line. This is a great lineup too. They got Franklin Sessions, I said, Eddie Curry in the way.
Now Dante Green is a good pickup though.
Yeah, Dante Green is, but Eddie Curry in the way, in my opinion.
Yeah, he out of shape.
You got a few players in the way.
Out of shape. In 3-on-3, you got to be in 3-on-3's constant action. It ain't like 5-on-5 where you can stand in the corner. Ain't no standing in the corner.
And not get back on D sometimes in 5-on-5 and nobody noticed. In 3-on-3, your ass ain't having a seat. You are exposed as shit.
Yeah, this 3-on-3 is all 1-on-1.
So let's move on to the Sunday game. So we had Bivouac playing against Ghost Ballers. Bivouac is one of those rosters that I really like. I do like the components of it, but what I'm learning after watching them in week 2 is they do have some issues. Hustle, go ahead. Well, I already know you got something to say.
Man, Bivouac seems like Ghost Ballers is the goon squad, but they the goon squad that can play goon squad. They the feisty goon squad. Bivouac seems like the ragtag bunch that you like a fight gonna happen.
How about say they headstrong? They headstrong.
No. When you look at them, you be like, whoever was the owner or the GM that put that team together was not putting a team together to win. I don't know if Lisa Leslie got to pick the team herself or how it went.
No, Lisa Leslie's not coaching Bivouac.
Oh, who coached Bivouac? Bivouac got Josh Smith playing center. Like, whoever that team is, they got Josh Smith playing center. You're not going to win no game.
I think they were thinking Will Bynum was going to come in and do a lot of scoring.
Reggie Theus is the head coach.
Reggie
Theus.
Thank you for that.
He's wrong. Like, they wrong. But you got a small-ass point guard with Will Bynum. Then you got Anthony Morrow, whose middle name is No Defense.
Reggie Theus is from Inglewood. I think he made a gangster decision. He put a bunch of gangsters together that just want to fight and scrap. That's an Inglewood gangster move.
I was like, man, this is not going to... I was like, they might not even be ball hogs.
What do you think of Will Bynum's sham, hezzy, made this nigga touch earth, lay, like that was the sickest move. They took an L regardless, but the move was so crazy. My only issue with the move was the commentator calling it a spin move afterwards. That shit was so annoying.
Hey, listen, I had to take it back 5 times to make sure he didn't double.
He didn't.
It looked like he doubled. That's how cold the move was. It looked like he touched it on the same side, dribbling.
How many people can do that?
Not very many.
No, not many.
And shout out Mike Taylor. That was on Mike Taylor, I believe. But he came back.
Drew League Mike Taylor?
He came back and did incredible gangster shit. Hit some big shots. Had a great defensive play. He pretty much won the game after he got shook. He was, shit happens. You know what I'm saying?
Play through it.
Yeah.
That's the goon squad right there. Jamario Moon, Mike T. No, that's the goon squad right there. They come to play. You gonna have to play when you play them. And they don't got no big either.
No, they don't. Hustle. When we had our screen test, you talked about this aliens and three-headed monsters matchup being better than we all thought. We all was like, psh, the aliens gonna get their ass whooped. They lost, but it was a better game than we all predicted. What do you see in the aliens that makes you think that they're gonna compete every week?
Oh, they really young. They young and feisty. They young and athletic. They got balance. They got a solid point guard. They got a solid, like everybody on their team is solid and athletic. They don't have this just gonna be my
Greg
score.
Oden.
Like you got Joe Johnson. You got those bona fide scorers that score, but they got guys that are still young, athletic, and can play. And most of them cats are out of shape. So just for them running and jetting across, they're gonna always have a chance to be in the game.
They had Brandon Rush, Andre Owens. They had Ryan Hollins making some good shots. Shannon Brown. I just don't respect the lineup, but I do see them playing well together. And that's important in 3-on-3. You don't have to have the best team. I mean, it helps if you do, but if you don't and you play well together and you're able to move the ball, because 3-on-3 is essentially about one guy having a mismatch, and if the defense counters that, then you just got to play basketball, pass the ball well, make sure guys are cutting, and just do basketball things, and you can counter a great score on another team. You can. Three-headed monsters, Mario Chalmers.
Reggie Evans.
Didn't do it. That was his first game, but Rashard Lewis is the leader of that team. They're going to go as far as he goes, in my opinion.
And I don't think that's going to be far.
Valid opinion.
Yeah. I mean, Rashard Lewis is not who he used to be, for one, is what we're looking at. And on top of the fact that age just plays a difference, and I don't think he's just going to ride it out where every game he's going to be knocking these shots down like that. And having that one component is not enough. Looking at, you need at least 2 to 3 options when it comes down to the playoffs. And when it get down tight, you're going to need more than one option.
Three-headed monsters like the San Antonio Spurs. When you watch them,
run it off.
They got a veteran team that all know how to play, and they all play within themselves. So it don't matter. When you play with them, Muhammad knows what he does. He's looking for that jumper anytime. You got to guard him, you got to play him. Rashard Lewis, 7 feet, can shoot the jumper. So when he run a pick and roll, if he get any type of space, he's a 7-footer. He can shoot, and you're not blocking it.
And then you got the junkyard dog and Reggie Evans.
And you got a junkyard dog who's going to get any one of those shooters rebounds at any time, and they're going to give it to him in the post when he slip and do everything. It's just like you're going to have to beat them. They're not going to.
I agree with you 50%. Hey, look, I agree with you 50%. I'm going to tell you this. Playing 3-on-3 basketball, you can have all the smarts and, like you said, the veteran skills, but it become a backyard fight when you playing 3-on-3. The fouls ain't the same. The way we play.
We said?
You say what?
They got the biggest junkyard dog in the league.
We got. That's one person. Now we got 3 players out there.
You only need
Name
one
another
dog.
team. You only need one.
No. It ain't. What I'm saying is, dealing with a 3-on-3, the whole mentality in a 3-on-3 is just. It's a little bit more bigger and different than just dealing with veterans. Like saying, oh, he a vet. Because you look at Mario Chalmers, you look at Evans, they was veterans in the league doing smart things. You can't take that smartness from the league and incorporate it into this big 3 as if they fouling the same, they playing it. There's been so many fouls and calls. I'm talking about when it get to the grit. I ain't talking about regular season, they let them score here. When it get tight and we get in the playoffs, it's going to be a whole nother aura. So looking at the points of somebody being smart, that's not going to matter in 3-on-3. 3-on-3 going to be the aggressive who could take the elbow and still get the pass off. And that's where I'm looking at. I'm not knocking the points that you're making about veterans, but I don't feel like that takes a stronger role playing 3-on-3 in this type of environment. Okay. You know what I mean?
I understand where you're coming from, but the first mistake was you compare Mario Chalmers to any one of those players was a mistake.
I ain't comparing.
I'm saying you compare 3-on-3. You compare Mario Chalmers, who's been a role player his whole life, to guys that were prominent scorers. So it's a different. Chris Jackson was a scorer. Rashard Lewis was a scorer. So now when they come into this league, it's a difference, because it's a difference being a Deshaun Stevenson and being a Rashard Lewis. They might both be role players at some point, but he's been a scorer. Like
Definitely.
Joe Johnson in this league has been a scorer. So it's a little different. That's why we look at teams like Bauhaus or those other teams who have Andre Owens and David Hawkins and James White. Those are good role players, but they've never been scorers. So I can't come to the big three and expect them to be any type of scorers here when they wasn't scorers where they were before.
Well, I will say the big three does give players an opportunity that, maybe scoring wasn't your strong suit when you were a pro, but you have the ability. You know how, like, I've been on teams where, like, I'll give you the W in the NBA, for example. When I was trying out with the WNBA, when I was playing ball overseas, I was that bitch. Like, I was the person everybody looked to. But when you play in the WNBA and you have players that are better than you, you don't get to showcase your skills because it's just not your league. It's not your time.
It's not your time.
So I feel like the big three gives these guys who were scorers maybe in high school and college, but went to the pros and weren't able to be that guy. The big three gives you an opportunity to relive those days when you could get a bucket. And not saying you will be the guy, but everybody has the opportunity to score in 3-on-3. Everybody, because the ball moves so much, and it's just gonna happen. And if you had any ability to score in your past, it'll show.
It definitely show.
It'll show. Moving on to the last game of the weekend and the biggest matchup to me, Power versus Tri-State. Now, Power opened the season. They were the champions last year. They opened the season with a rerun of the championship game. And then week 2, they run it back with the team they played in the semi. So this is pretty much a test for Power. They're catching everybody early, that was contenders last year, and they won 43-51. Power looks like the team to beat. I don't care about triplets and all these other teams. Power is doing their job without their MVP. Coutinho continues to show up. 23 points this week, 7 rebounds. He had a little help from Glenn, Big Baby Davis, as he always does. And they just make it work. They make it happen. They got Nancy coaching. Do you guys think Power still the team to beat, or do you think that there's just lucky wins? Like, what do you think? I'm
rolling with Power being the team to beat strictly because they got Big Baby, which I see nobody with a larger body down low in the post. Because we playing 3-on-3, so the help not there.
It's not there.
So when he spin left or right, it's either a foul or a bucket. I don't see another team with a down low presence and outside perimeter game to shoot like Mobley and who else we got? Richardson and McGetty. Like, all these guys could shoot. And then you got a 30+ down low. I don't see nobody beating them strategically. I don't see nobody beating them.
Hustle.
I think they got a good team. I mean, like I said, they're in shape. That's what separates them. Coutinho, Mobley, Corey McGetty, they both have size, which a lot of teams, they don't have no 5'8", no 5'10". They tall at every position. And both of their players were legit scorers. Like, it's just, to me, it just makes a difference. When you could just give him the ball and he give you 23. Like, he made how many threes? 4 threes last game? Like, it's just a difference when you got two guys that you can get a ball to. And they can get a bucket with no help, no pick and roll, no nothing. You can just say, here,
go give me a bucket.
You don't got too many teams.
I was excited to see Stoudemire against Big Baby. That's a great matchup for this league. 2 big guys who did it. A Big Baby was not as a big a star as Stoudemire, but in 3-on-3, Big Baby is Amari Stoudemire in the NBA. If you think about it. And seeing them go at it, Amari still had 18 points. He was doing his thing. It was a great matchup. I liked when Big Baby pulled him out the paint because then that allowed Coutinho to do what he does, an old man post-up game, just to shake niggas up. Like, the Power has everything you need. They have everything you need. I think Tri-State also has a lot of what you need as well. They just don't have Coutinho. Coutinho is the difference on both of these rosters. You put Coutinho on Tri-State, they win this game, in my opinion.
Tri-State look good. Jermaine, Stoudemire, Nate, Bonzi. They look good. Top 3 players, Enemies, Power, and Threes Company is my top 3 players. Top 3 teams.
Wait, Enemies, Power, and Threes Company?
It's going to be my top 3 teams.
Threes Company?
Yeah, Threes Company.
Threes Company.
Threes Company got...
Oh, man, killer threes, triplets, and Power.
Wait, hold on. Let me say it again. Say it again. Let me get what's your
I don't
three?
got Three's Company nowhere in anything.
Good.
Killer threes,
Okay.
killer threes, triplets, and power.
So, okay.
He said killer 3.
Killer threes is a valid one. Triplets is very valid. Power is valid. I am going to go power, killer threes, and triplets. Power, killer threes, and triplets. I did see, I was upset last week because you have to forgive me. I get a little mad about stuff, but Jannero Pargo finally was hitting some shots. He didn't do anything great, but at least didn't look like he looked the first week. So it makes me feel like the triplets are going to be okay. Lisa Leslie doing great with her substitutions and making sure she's getting the right matchups. So I got those 3 teams. Early MVP candidates. We've got Coutinho. We've got Joe Johnson. Is there anybody else that you guys want to put in there?
Definitely.
Reggie Evans is not in there this week. Is there anybody else that you want to put in that 3-way MVP draw this week?
I'm putting Emmett in there.
Emmett.
I'm putting Emmett in there as an MVP candidate if he stays playing the way he's been playing.
Hustle.
I'm not looking at the regulars.
Emmett ain't made 4 field goals in the game yet this season. And, he's in my hometown.
Just watch.
That's my guy.
Okay.
But,
okay, well, just keep watching.
My guy will be Jamariel Moon.
Okay, respectfully. He had a great game this week.
Back-to-back 20-point game, and he's unexpected. Like, it's unexpected for him to play like that. She made, 3-4 threes one game? Like, nah, he's definitely been competing at a level that I like.
Well, guys, we're going to get out of here. Did you guys have fun?
Oh, I loved it.
We definitely got to have y'all link up when you come to LA Hustle, because Hustle comes out here and visits me, RJ.
Please come down here, man.
We're going to have to burn one.
And talk about
just talk some shit, have fun. I hope you guys have fun. I appreciate you guys joining
Real quick,
me.
Hustle, what was your 3 again? Your top 3 teams?
He taking notes so he could come back with this.
Triplets, power, and
Killer threes.
Steven Jackson.
Killer threes. That's his 3.
My 3.
All right, we're going to get out of here. I want to thank my listeners for riding with me. I appreciate you guys. I will have 2 episodes this week. There will be 168 before 169. I love you guys. Peace.